Hi, friends. I'm Art. Today we're going to be moving through a really wonderful chair practice here. The chair that we use typically is just like your average folding chair. I do like one that has a cushion in the seat, but you can do it if you have a metal seat as well. And then there is no back. There's no back to the chair, so you can step through it and do things where you'll utilize this space. All right, so if you don't have a chair like this, you should be okay. You can modify things here and there, but there will be a couple things you won't be able to do. So just keep that in mind. So first things first, we'll kind of start in this grounded seated position. You could scoot yourself all the way back so that you could kind of feel that top of the chair back, somewhere in the mid back. Just bring your hands to your thighs, sit up nice and tall, and just begin to take a few nice deep rounds of breath. Maybe lifting sternum up towards the chin on the inhale, expanding the belly, and then open the mouth, sigh it out. Nice, just a few more breaths like that, just kind of centering, grounding your feet, grounding your sit bones, and then really just stacking the spine here, crown over palate, over diaphragm, over pelvic floor. Nice. Now first, we'll just begin to take a nice little twist to the right. So take your left hand to your right knee, and you can take your right hand to the chair back and just begin to kind of rotate the entire spine, including the neck, over to the right. You want to try to stay lifted up nice and tall through the spine, and think about moving the skin of the belly over to the right. A few deep breaths, feet stay grounded. And then slowly just begin to derotate. Come back through center. Take your right hand to your left knee, your left hand to the chair back behind you. Sit up nice and tall, and then just begin to turn the chest over to the left. Yeah, really opening across your chest. You can think about pointing your left elbow back behind you. We're always really gentle with the neck, so you don't want to go too far with the neck. Take some breath. Nice. Come back through center. Now here it's kind of nice because you can bring your hands down beside you, reach your fingertips to the ground, and actually take your hand around the bottom of the chair. And so I'm going to keep the left hand here underneath of the chair and just gently bring my right ear towards my right shoulder. Pull back through your left shoulder. You'll get a nice little stretch on the left side of the neck. Nice, a couple breaths, and you can start to kind of explore with the chin. You'll engage and kind of stretch some different muscles in the neck if you draw the chin down and then back up. Get a little bit of the trap. Nice. Lift the head back up through center. Keep your right hand on the edge of the chair and pull your left shoulder, pull your left ear down towards the shoulder. Again, on this side, just be kind of curious with that sensation. Chin comes down. Keep drawing back through the right shoulder and then bring the chin up to the ceiling. Kind of keeping the face nice and soft. Bring yourself back up through center. Nice. Now hands can come to knees for this. We'll just move through a couple cat-cow kind of movements here. So again, you want to think about tipping your pelvis forward, dropping your belly forward, draw your shoulders back and lift your chin. Take an inhale. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin and tip your pelvis back. Nice, just kind of pause here. Belly hugs in. Inhale, pelvis tips forward, belly forward, shoulders back. Open the collarbones. Nice, one more time to round and really tuck the chin. Bow. Nice. Now sit up nice and tall again. We'll just widen the feet a little bit. See, I have blanket and blocks that we'll use in just a little bit. Widen the feet a little bit. Sit up nice and tall again. Think tipping pelvis forward, and we're just going to begin to fold forward here. So fingertips can either come down to the ground or to blocks if you can't reach. And it feels really nice to just kind of walk your fingertips forward, draw back through your sit bones. The head can have some traction, so just let your head drop. Let your head drop. Might even feel nice to take blocks underneath of the head. Stack one on top of the other. And let this be kind of a restorative pose here. Getting into the inner thigh, the outer hip, the glutes. And really stretching the spine here. If you can really allow yourself to dangle. Yeah, getting some space between every vertebra. Take a few more breaths. Nice. And then just slowly, slowly lift yourself up, up, up. Up, up, up. Yeah, you don't want to get dizzy, so just sit up slowly. Great. Now, throughout the practice, we will move the chair around a little bit, so kind of know that that'll happen. So we're going to take the chair and we're going to turn it so that we have access to the longer edge of the mat. And then I'm going to take my blocks, set them up in front of the chair on level 2. Move this so that you can see better. Nice. And then as I approach the chair, I'll have to bend my knees to get this to happen. I'm going to try and get the chair back into my hip crease. And you can do this if you have that part on the top still. Yeah, I'm just going to situate that right into my hip crease. My knees will stay bent, as you can see. Feet are grounded. And then walk your hands onto the blocks. Your chin might be able to rest on the bottom part of the chair here, or you can just keep your neck nice and long. Yeah, and just take a few deep breaths. Really give your hip crease to the chair back. It's kind of a new sensation, so it can be kind of intense. You may really want to lift your heels up. Think widening your sit bones away from each other. And you can kind of notice that even in just a couple moments here, I've been able to open a little bit. So you might be able to walk your hands further forward, or maybe now you can set your chin down on the chair. Take a few breaths. Few breaths. This is just one version of a chair dog. That's it. Really kind of just giving a little bit of pressure to your hands, but not too much, because you're giving some of the pressure to your hip crease into the chair. Nice. To come out, you can use the blocks to walk yourself back. Walk yourself back, hands to the bottom of the chair, and then just slowly lift up. Slowly lift up. Nice. Take your time. You don't want to get dizzy. Now I'm going to take the chair and I'm going to turn it, moving the blocks. Bring it more towards the top of your mat now. Seat facing you. And you're going to take your hands, grip your hands on the edges of the seat. Thumbs are going to point forward, fingers wrap around the edges, and then step your feet back. We're coming to a plank pose. So just like our plank on the ground, you want to get your shoulders over your hands, your heels over the balls of your feet. Heels are really lifted. You're really stretching the arches of the feet. Look back. Make sure you got about a hip's distance between your feet. Take an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. So just lift your hips back. Really opening through the shoulders here. Keep pressing down into your hands. And you'll notice that in this angle, your heels will probably be able to come down a little easier, but still keeping a bend into the knees. This is a nice stretch for the side body, for the rib cage, for the lat muscles. Nice. Now, as you inhale, shift forward plank pose. Exhale, dog pose. Kind of just move between these two places for a few rounds. Really getting those shoulders over the wrists, and then shift it back, heels come down. Nice. Now this time we shift forward to plank. Kind of hold it for a second. Hold it for a second. Shoulders stay over wrists. Keep your toes curled under, and then just lower your pelvis. Think like an upward facing dog. So really engage your thighs. Push your heels back, and let your chest come through your arms. Head is on straight, chin pulls back. Stay here, take a breath in. Downward facing dog. Nice. Nice. So just kind of lengthening here through the spine, lengthening through the neck. Try to keep your eyes pointing straight down to the ground. And then let's just start to look forward and walk your feet all the way towards your chair. All the way towards your chair. From here, you can even use your hands on this chair to take a halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Maybe forehead comes to the chair bottom. Inhale, rise up. Just doing a nice sun salutation now. Arms lift. Exhale, fold. Maybe the forehead comes to the chair. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out. Take your hands around the edges. Step your feet back to plank. Take a breath in. You can always shift forward, take a chaturanga here, bending elbows, and then lengthen your arms back to that upward facing dog. Nice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Start to look forward. Step. You can hop. You can walk. Finding that forward fold. Forehead comes down. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out. Exhale, fold again. Nice. Maybe another time like that. Inhale, lift up through the spine, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Belly comes to thighs, knees bend. Slowly rise up. Nice long inhale breath to circle the arms, to lift the eyes. Exhale, fold forward. Bring your belly to your thighs. Take a half lift. Get your hands to the edges and step your feet back to plank pose. Nice. Thighs are really engaged for this. Now this time you have a choice. You can kind of shift forward, bend your elbows, chaturanga, pause, or just keep your arms long and come to upward facing dog. Toes stay curled, knees are engaged. Press back through the heels. Downward facing dog. Slow breath right here. Just kind of regather yourself. A little heat being generated, a little thermal energy. Now just begin to walk back to the top of the mat. Beautiful work. Now we're going to stand up, turn around and come into a seat. Now for this seat, you'll notice I'm kind of scooped forward. I want you to get your sit bones a little bit closer to the edge and then bring your heels back so that they're a little bit further behind your knees. Nice. Now from here, I'm going to take my left arm, lift up to the ceiling. Like really stretch this left side body, stretch your rib cage. Keep driving the sit bones down to the ground. And then we're going to take the left elbow across the right knee. Get it as far down on that left tricep as you can. And then bring your palms to your heart. We'll take a little twist to the right here. And once you have your palms to your heart, you can use the palms as leverage to begin to twist a little deeper. Don't take it too far. I like to think about stretching the belly skin over to the right. Nice. And now, can you start to firm through your feet a little bit? Firm through your feet a little bit. We're going to look down, bring weight into your heels, and lift off of your seat about an inch. We'll see if we can do that again. Lower your seat, come all the way down. Shift forward, lift, hover, hold. Lower your seat. We just have one more of those. Keep opening through the chest. Shift forward, take a breath. Lower down, and then very slowly derotate. You'll want to give it a second in the center. A lot of flushing happening, a lot of rinsing. A few breaths right here just to reground. Nice. Now, right arm is going to lift, like really stretch through this rib cage, through this lung, lift up tall. And then right elbow across left knee, left thigh really. Nice and low on that right tricep, palms come together. Begin to turn the chest. It's like you're trying to bring your thumbs to your sternum. Belly rotates, belly spirals. Weight in the toes, weight in the heels. Now again, we're going to shift our weight forward, plug into your toes, and lift an inch, hold it. And then lower. Like really set your weight down. Give it a second. Shift forward, lift. Nice, and then lower. We'll do that one more time. Stay in your twist. We're rotating, spinal fluid moving. Shift forward. Hold it. Breathe in. Lower the seat. Slowly again, derotate. Take this slow. Arms come down. Spine is tall. Soften your eyes. Couple breaths. Really remain through center for a second. Now you can walk your feet back just a tiny bit. We'll start to lift the arms straight up. Straight up. A lot of times in a chair pose, we see this happening in the spine. And I want you to try to stay nice and lifted for this chair pose. Yeah, so the ribs have opening. The back body is nice and open. And we will hinge forward just a tiny bit at the hip crease. And then lift off of your chair. Give it about 2-3 inches away from the chair. Squeeze your inner thighs in. Beautiful work. Take some breaths right here. Sternum lifts up. Arms are back by the biceps. If you need to widen your arms, you can. And of course, you can always come back down for a second and then stand back up. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Lengthen your legs out. Nice work. Now hands to hips. Come all the way back up through standing. We're just going to turn around. Turn around. Now from here, let's take our feet more to the edges. You can see that I'm kind of stepped away from the chair a bit. Feet towards the edges. Right here, hands to the hips. Take a breath. Begin to fold forward. You might have to readjust. I'm going to try to get the chair to be right underneath of my forehead. As I fold, and you can begin to reach for something further away from you on this chair. So I was able to grab the back legs. Nice. And then I just have a little bit of leverage here. I can pull back with my sit bones, bending the knees. Arms are long. And you might even kind of reach up here towards the top and just let your head dangle. That's another great option. And I'm going to move a little bit. See if you can swivel your pelvis side to side. Yeah. Reach your sit bone to that side. Reach your other sit bone to the other side. Knees can bend. Nice work. Beautiful job. Now, hands to the back of the bottom of the chair. Take an inhale, lift up, and exhale, fold. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. So you can always hang out here for quite a bit of time. Hands can come to elbows, just getting a little bit more weight through the midsection here. And you'll start to kind of feel some of the tissues back behind the shoulders and the ribs really begin to open up. Now let's just kind of stand all the way up. Hands can come to the hips. Rise, rise, rise. Nice. All right, I'm going to take the chair and I'm going to turn it. Bring it more towards the middle, more towards the middle of your mat. And then we'll come onto a seat. Onto a seat. We'll do a couple more active postures. So from here, let's start with the right leg, just so we're all on the same page. We're going to take the right leg, step it out to the right side of the chair. All right, right toes point. We'll call this the top of your mat. Bring a block right inside of that right foot. Doesn't matter which level at first, all right? And then hands come to the chair. That's going to help you with leverage. We're going to step this left foot wide. Think warrior 2 feet. So you're lining up, even though we have a chair between, we're lining up the right heel with the left arch of foot. All right, so you see my pelvis is seated on the chair. I have some support in this left inner thigh and under my right sit bone. Spine stays tall through center. And you can kind of play around with bending and straightening that back knee because we have support here. And then arms, they open up. Arms open up. Keep softening shoulders. Just like in traditional warrior 2, you can turn your head to the right. Just begin to breathe. A little energy in the hands. Because our legs are more grounded doesn't mean that we're not pushing into those feet. So push your right foot forward energetically, left foot back. Breathe, yeah, lift up tall through the spine. Soften your face. Soften your face. Beautiful efforts. Nice. Now, see if you can just look down at your right knee and start to pull it more to the right. Sometimes it likes to try to fall in when we're on our chair. So pull it out to the right so we can really open this right inner thigh too. Now, left hand is going to come back to the chair, back behind you, right next to the hip. And then the right hand is going to come to the block right inside of the foot. And I kind of moved my foot in a little bit. Nice. Plant your right hand onto that block or onto, you can come to the ground if you have that reach. Here we go. Press, press, and then begin to turn. So you see I take my hand up a little bit taller on the chair back and rotate my chest open. This is our side angle pose right here. Pull the chin back. This gives you a really, really nice lung lift on the left side. We always want to make sure you're holding your head here in the shape, not dropping it down like this. Just keep the neck really engaged, supporting the airway, supporting cervical spine. Nice. And then slowly bring your block with you. Lift yourself back up. You can just turn your toes in for a second. Come into the middle. Might feel nice to fold. You don't have to. You can fold here if you want. Toes out, heels in. Nice. And then we'll just do that on the other side. So lift your spine back up. Begin to situate this left foot. Turn the toes out towards the back of your mat. Block is inside of the foot. That'll kind of keep the integrity there of that knee kind of moving out. And then step your right leg long, toes turn in towards you like about an inch. This leg is long, a little bend into that knee. Yeah, again, kind of play around with bending and straightening, bending and straightening. You can always scoot yourself more to the right or more to the left. Just kind of find a position that feels like you're actually supported, like you can let go. If you're a little bit taller, you might want to use blankets underneath of you, because otherwise this will be a very, very deep squat for you. Nice. All right, now from here, open arms up. Crown is lifted. And then I rotate my chin to the left. You can energize your hands a little bit here, soften shoulders. And notice the pelvis. If you really feel like you're tipping forward, you might have to get that blanket up underneath of you so that you can pull up from the pubic bone. That's it. Ribs draw down. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Not rushing this side. We want to stay in our warrior two a little bit. Nice. And then we know where we're going. So left hand comes to this block. Right hand grabs for the chair back. And you can do that. Might be just by the hip. That might be where you reach, and that's okay. Or maybe you climb the hand up towards the top. Pull that shoulder back. Pull your chin back. And start to find your breath here. So still energizing through those feet. We're not dumping all the weight down into the pelvis. We have the legs. Crown is reaching forward. So we have a nice, nice long spine here. Few more breaths. Few more breaths. So we're using kind of like the wide edge of the mat for this part of the series. Just traveling around on the mat can be nice. Nice. Now just start to look down. Lift your chest up. Beautiful work. Set your block aside. Walk your feet in and stand up. Nice. Now we'll take the chair and we'll turn it again. Turn the chair again. Now this time we have the seat facing up, us, the chair back facing away. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my foot and I'm going to step through. So the very back edge of the chair kind of comes into the right back of knee. And then as I lower down this back of my right thigh, I have to kind of pivot back here so that I can get this back leg to internally rotate. And so you'll see my back heels lifted. This is kind of like a crescent warrior or warrior one pose. And then hands come to the chair back. This is going to really help me be able to pull back. Pull back. So we have left thigh is kind of pinned here, rotating in. We got our psoas kind of intact. And then pull up from the sternum and just lean back. That's it. Take a couple breaths here. Take a couple breaths here. Yeah, and just kind of see if you feel like you're dumping your weight down, or you might have to lift up just a tiny bit like I do. I need like a millimeter of space underneath of my pelvis just to be here. And you can play around with kind of staying here and twisting. Use that chair back. Nice. Slowly, 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 you can turn yourself to the left, lower that sit bone, and then we'll switch. So yeah, just move really slowly through this stuff. You don't have to rush with the chair. Left foot comes through. Right leg is gonna step back, and I really gotta get back all the way back to the back of this left knee, like pin it down in there. And then look at your back leg. See that you're really rotating that thigh in, and you gotta set the thigh right on the edge of the chair. It's kind of sensational, I will say. And then energy in your left foot, energy in your right ball of foot. Lift sternum up, lean back just a little bit. Not over exaggerating this here. I want to think of this kind of like a little back bend. Little back bend. Yeah, so energizing for that back leg, that back knee, especially the back of the knee. Beautiful. Now we can rotate. So take your right hand to the chair back, left hand to pelvis, and just twist. Couple breaths. Nice. Slowly back through center. Back through center. Beautiful work. Now I'm just going to step out of the chair for a moment. Out of the chair, and you can always move your chair this way if you want. We're going to do just a few balancing postures here. First one being, let's just stand right in front of the chair. Nice. And we can take the right foot and step it right onto the chair. Right onto the chair. So this really helps people that have some issues with balance. It's also just quite challenging to try anything new. So you can take your hands to your hips here, and I want you just to see if you could hover your right foot 1 inch, maybe even less, off of that seat. Nice. Now you can plant the foot back down, and we can take another twist. A lot of good twists in this practice. Left hand to right knee, right arm sweep it back. Nice. Now we'll come back through center. Lower the foot down. Let's just make a nice circle with the pelvis. And switch left foot. Find your marcher's pose with support. So it's like you got the ground to come up for you. Hands at hips, and then hover. And you can always play around with lifting and lowering. Like just give it an inhale. Exhale, lower it down. Or you can hold it. Hold it lifted. Try to keep lifting through that right hip. Tends to try to drop. And then lower the left foot. Plant it down. Right hand to the left knee. Rotate to the left. Feels nice to have this right underneath of the foot. Don't always have that support. So it feels really nice. Beautiful work. Come back through center. Foot comes down. I also wanted to share, you could turn your chair like this. One of the hands to the chair back, and we can do so many different balancing postures like this with just a little bit of support. You could take this foot to the inner calf or the inner thigh, try a tree pose, and then play around with letting go, right? You could also take your marcher's pose like this. So you just have the support right here next to you. It's like having the wall next to you. You could also do hand to big toe. In this case, we would use this hand. This hand stays on the chair back. Lengthen the leg out. Bring the leg out to the side. You could step away a little bit. You could even take a dancer pose here. You might kind of face the chair, bend this knee. Hinge forward, doesn't have to be super far. Lean forward with the chest, and then lift back up. Yeah, so lots of great options for doing some balances here with the chair as you stand. Nice. Now, 2 more things that we're going to do. First thing we're going to do is a chair wheel. All right, so I do like to use my blanket for this. You will open your blanket up so that it's a little bit bigger than the chair bottom. So you might have to open it a couple times. Nice. I just really like this bottom edge and top edge to have cushion all the way around, or you're going to get kind of a little bit of pressure with metal into the body. And then you want to take a block, at least 1 block, and place it behind the chair back. So this is the back of the chair. Nice. And then I'm going to come onto a seat. Come onto a seat. This is the tricky part with this one, okay? So both feet are grounded. I need to scooch down a little bit. So I bring the chair's seat into like the middle of my back so that I can get underneath here. And then as you move, you want to try to make sure that that blanket doesn't move too much. And then you'll pull yourself through. I'm going to pull my blanket, of course, adjust it a little bit, and that's okay. Now what I want is my pelvis to be on the chair, and then the chair should be right underneath of the shoulder blades. Block is kind of far, so I'm gonna walk it back. You can also take your block on the highest level or the second level, right back behind you. So it takes a little bit to get into, but it feels really nice once you're there. Nice. All right, really get it right underneath of the head. You see that I get a little extension for my neck. And then there's lots of options for the arms. You can just keep them here on the chair. If you're a little bit afraid, that would be a good place to keep them. Otherwise, you can take your arms back behind you, all the way to the ground. Maybe try to spiral the palms to face down. You could also grab opposite elbow overhead, just really opening some of the fascia underneath of the arms. Really allows the lungs to lift up. Take some deep breaths right here. We're stretching open the hip crease. Try to keep those feet planted and the legs stretched out. You could always walk your feet back towards you if it's a little scary. Few breaths. And you will definitely need the back of the chair to be removed for this. You will not be able to fit through here. This is even a really tight squeeze for most of us, including me, just getting my arms through here. And then to come out, you're gonna lift your chin, begin to slide down. I have to do one arm at a time, so tuck your arm in your wings and then pull yourself out. Nice. Come to your seat. I'm gonna take this blanket down to the ground, right here in front. I might even open it up once. This is how we're gonna end our class. Legs up the chair. Feels super nice. Come into a little seat, as close to the chair as you can get, and get your calf muscles to really rest on that chair back or the chair seat. The knee comes to the edge here, keeping a bend in the knees. And then just let your feet rest, your legs rest. Hands can stay on the torso. Arms can open up beside you or even over your head. Just starting to let some of that circulation, that blood flow, lymph, all the different fluids travel back to the midsection, to the torso. You might spend a few moments here breathing deeply and slowly appreciating the movement and just appreciating our new prop, a new access point to be able to kind of look into our practice a little bit differently. Nice. Give yourself a couple minutes here. You can always just turn the video off right now and just continue on and on in this shape. Nice. To come out of this, you'll just kind of turn yourself to one side, just like you would do coming out of a Shavasana. Roll to one side. Press yourself up. Press yourself up. I'm going to come into my chair. You don't have to do this. You can stay seated on the ground if you want. Come into my chair and just come into a little seat with you to seal the end here of our practice. So if you'd like to, you can bring your palms together right in front of the sternum and the heart. Breathe in. Exhale, bow into yourself. Just kind of seal the practice right here. Finish strong. So much good breath. The energy has certainly shifted. Thank you all so very much for being here with me. I really appreciate it, and I really enjoy the chair practice. I hope that you do too. If you have any questions or comments, place them below, and hopefully I will see you soon. Thank you.